As a complete new tool, we've created the PB70, another parallel beam light with a 70 centimeter front diameter, and we've taken great care in the design of this light to make its beam as homogeneous in the beam as possible. As well as building a special lamp, the light source, we're proud that this light offers perfect color spectrum as opposed to everything we've known so far from metal halide lighting in the past, the so-called HMI. This light can also, if you want to, can be focused a little bit for special purposes. But usually it works with a 2-degree exit angle. So starting from a 5-meter distance, it turns into a pretty much homogeneous light. This we've achieved by fine-tuning the shading rings in the light, as well as modifying the lamp, the light source. This light provides enormous output, as well as economic and ecological values. This light works with a 1200 watt power source and can thus be fed from grandmother's kitchen. But at a distance of 20 meters, 60 feet, its output is 50% higher than a 9 kilowatt HMI light in its spot position. The main feature of this light, however, is that it does something that sounds absolutely unbelievable. The light does not derive from the light fixture itself, but from a so-called virtual light source, about 20 meters, 60 feet behind the light. Now, how can we understand this? We elongate the outer rays of the beam, elongate them backwards, and where these rays meet and cross, that's where the light actually originates from. This allows us to produce the illusion of a light that is a very far distance, and we call it infinity lighting. Now, in the world of virtual production, this has a very high value. If then, in the virtual studio, the intention is to bring nature into the studio. If today we want to show the Sahara Desert or the beach of Rio de Janeiro, and to light this scene with conventional lighting doesn't really give the real feeling. What's with our light, seemingly, the light originates from outside the studio, although the light fixture itself is placed inside the studio. This is why it was chosen for this particular capacity, for the illusion of sunlight, natural light, which we call infinity lighting. If we now, in addition, direct this parallel beam into reflectors, preferably hard reflectors, number one, we again elongate the travel of the light and enhance and multiply the infinity function. We're proud that this light now even has a bigger companion with 2.5 kilowatt, offering double the light output. Since these are daylight lights, they can be tuned with gel filters, which can be placed directly on the front of the light. There's not much high heat to melt such a filter or make it change its shape. Therefore, with filters over the full surface of the front, we can create the effect of an evening sun or any other kind of lighting character. If such lights are used outdoors and possibly directed straight up to shine into a reflector to redirect the light into the interior of the building, then creating the illusion of a sun shining into the room from very far away. There is no danger for the light itself to be disturbed by rain, heat, snow, or anything. It can work unattended. The actual effect of what I call infinity lighting is what we seem to defy the square law, the so-called square law. Now that is something that everybody has learned in school. The square law means that at double the distance, we only have 1/4 of the light. But in relationship to the actual position of our light, this particular one, the instrument itself, this law is not holding true anymore. Let's measure, for example, 5-meter distance from the light. We arrive at about 100,000 lux or a little more. When we now double the distance, we should have 1/4 of the light. But amazingly enough, we don't have 25,000 lux, as we would expect, but 68,000. And thus, we seem to defeat the square law. This means also that our talent, our actors, can move towards a window or towards the seeming light source without encountering the ill effects of the square law. We come much closer to natural light from a very far distance.